जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Bengaluru came in storming, but the big guns of RR stopped that flow of Bengaluru. They've restricted them to 172 in their 20 overs. Rajat Patidar getting 34. Virat Kohli got those 33. But the RR bowlers were just too good for RCB today. We're back at Cricket Buzz Live. I have Mr. Joy Bhattacharya and Mr. Michael Vaughan. That was quite some innings. There was quite a lot of drama because we saw both Virat and Faf start very well. Then we saw this really good bowling attack come to the big party on the big day. We saw some decisions which were questionable. So we saw it all in that innings.
Absolutely. We also saw some outstanding fielding and some average fielding. Outstanding fielding from Rovman Powell, who was like that mid-wicket boundary. He was like patrolling like a tiger. And of course, some forgettable fielding. I think one ball palmed over the boundary by Yashasvi Jaiswal, one, four.
Dhruv Jurel's catch as
Jurel
well.
missing. So we got a mixture of potpourri of everything out there today.
But Michael, 172. Bengaluru is not going to be happy with that score that they've put on, considering the start that Virat and Faf gave them. But then they lost all those wickets. They made up in the last 4-5 overs.
Yeah, I mean, they got them off to a decent start, but they didn't get off to a flying start, which is what you're after. And it was because of the brilliance of Trent Boult. His first 3 overs, 1 for 6. I mean, that's just remarkable in this era, well, in any era of cricket, but in this era of T20 cricket, it's staggering. I thought Rajasthan were magnificent with the ball. I really do. I thought they used all the variations, all the seamers bowled their slow balls nicely. They got the full balls in quite into the Yorker. The spin twins, particularly Ashwin, he was magnificent. And that first ball to Glenn Maxwell, just a carom ball. Go on, Glenn. With a little bit of flight, we know what you're going to do. Makes the error, he goes out first ball. And that period, really, where they lost quite a batch of key wickets is where RCB will probably look back on it. They wanted to get 220, they had to control that middle period. And Rajasthan were just too good with the ball.
Jodha, do you think it was too much of a harakiri from RCB because they were losing wickets in pairs?
Oh, absolutely. 2-3 things out there. One is definitely, some of them were ridiculous shots. For Maxwell to walk in there and try that first ball with, a spinner of the quality of Ashwin, you've just lost a wicket. It's your 4th wicket and it's, there's quite a lot of time to bat. That was unforgivable shot. But also, I think they missed a few tricks out there. For whatever it's worth, Cameron Green batted well. But Cameron Green, for example, is not the best.
The spinners were on when they sent him in.
So perhaps it would have been a better idea to get him first, Rajat Patidar in first. Then maybe get Maxi in. Of course, after Maxwell did what he did, I'm wondering whether he should have been in that batting order at all. We have to remember that he actually has got his place back because Will Jackson.
Yes.
And
they
we've
spoken so much about Glenn Maxwell that he's that player who'll give them that 1 game, 2 games in the season. But it's not right for a player of his stature to come and do this in the IPL time and time again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Marizan Kaap, I think she tweeted about it, saying that arrogance is just that first shot. You've got team, it's an important match. You need to think, you need to assess the situation. It's literally, to be honest, it's selfish for you to do that and take that chance at that time when your team is at such a crucial juncture and your wickets are so important. And that was a very crucial stage of the match because if you remember, Cam Green and Patidar had clawed it back, They'd started scoring runs and, they've started to get it back, So it was really unforgivable under the circumstances.
Michael, the batters got starts, but no one could really convert. No one's gone above 35, so that's always a concern because Virat got that start and then he kind of fell to Yuzi's delivery. We've seen Rajat Patidar get that 34 and Romror get 32, but no one converting, not even one of the players converting today.
Yeah, and this team, let's be honest, they're hoping Virat bats 16 to 18 overs and then you get a few cameos around it and that score would have been well above 200. That's been their kind of DNA as a team over the last few games that they've been winning. I do think it was because of the brilliance of the bowling.
Yes.
I just think the captain had a good night. He was always swapping and changing. He worked on those matchups. The spinners were always trying to spin it away from the edge of the bat. Lomro got the the leg spin a couple of times with a couple of lap slogs, but I thought they were excellent. The field settings, everything around. There was probably 10 runs stumbled in the field, which will be a disappointment for Trevor Penny, the fielding coach. And you look at that period where they lost Green and then they lost Maxi, and then the big decision. That 172, and I'll be completely fair on DK. I actually thought he played an apologetic innings after. I really did. I feel, because when you see that moment where that ball hits the pad, and it hits the pad first, there's no question, the bat hits the bottom of the pad. DK goes down and he wasn't even going to review it. Now, if you're an umpire watching closely, as you should be in the third umpire's position, surely you're looking for the reaction of the player first and foremost. And then he's kind of go, oh, it's an might as well. There's the first indication.
It was a second thought.
So as a third umpire, there is the first indication. You've not even seen the replay, but you're watching the player, and he's just kind of gone, all right, yeah, I'm important, all right. He thought it was out. And then you see the screen. It was one of the most obvious third umpire decisions I think I've ever seen. It was so clear that bat just hit the bottom of the pad. It was an obvious one. In a way, I'm glad that DK didn't go and strike 50 quickly, because I think RR would have been... I mean, Kumar was trying to get in there straight away,
yeah,
rightfully.
Sangha went straight to the match.
I'm glad he didn't, because I think it'd have been a big hoo-ha about the game and about that one decision. But as a third umpire, under this spotlight, under that pressure, in a game as big as this, you should not be getting that wrong.
It's an eliminator. It's the biggest game in the IPL. You can't.
This
you're the third
man
umpire.
has been the umpire on the field for about 134 matches, 70 odd matches.
I thought you were going to say 134 years. I said, no wonder he can't see the telly.
200, more than 200 IPL matches he's done. And that was just, I think, again, that decision was just an umpire rushing to a conclusion. He's just seeing the spike. He's not seeing anything else. He's not seeing where the bat was. And, I mean, he'll be kicking himself for that, because that could have changed the course of the match. And he's absolutely right. If instead of 11 of 13, if he had got 40 in 20...
Yeah, that could have changed the entire game around.
It still might.
I mean, you never know. You still never
might.
know.
If they fall 5 short, they'll be looking at this decision.
And they still got to 172. At that stage, they could have been 140 all out. Yeah, the whole momentum of the game, wickets were stumbling. Rajasthan were on a massive roll, and you just thought, if DK's out there, well, good luck getting to 150. It was in that such of a precarious position for the RCB side. It was a shocker. You can't make that mistake.
But in spite of that decision, RCB have not managed to score over 10 runs and over. And considering the batting prowess this team has, when we look at these numbers here, 7 to 10, they've just gone for 6.50 and just 26 runs in that phase.
Absolutely. And I think that phase is credit to, a lot of it was Ashwin.
Yes.
I mean, 19 of 4 overs in a crucial match like this, I thought he bowled absolutely brilliantly. And he pulled out all his variations, didn't allow anyone, and all the batters are looking to come charge him. But
no boundary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
And again, like you said, he mixed it around. I mean, just look at this. They're just ones and zeros, and those 2 2s, that's about it.
Yeah, and Jarrell dropped that simple catch off him as well. I mean, they've still got to get the runs, and you have to say that the favourites to do so. But if you go back to KKR last night, fantastic bowling attack. Rajasthan, we've been talking, the 2 best bowling attacks so far. I mean, if Rajasthan get through tonight, you have to say that it's once again looking like a tournament that, the best bowling attacks. Batters will win you a game or two, as we keep saying, but bowlers, a group of bowlers, generally end up with the trophy in the hands.
The bowlers win the tournaments is what everyone's been saying, but pretty much like what Stark did. He's the big match player, the big experience that he got. We saw what he did. For Rajasthan again today, the big guns have stepped up. Trent Bolt, R. Ashwin and Yuzi.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing. If you look at this Trent Bolt, why is it so important? And I'll tell you why. Because Sandeep has bowled the second over. So Trent has gone for 6 in his 3.
Yes.
The other overs on the other side, over 2, 4 and 6 have gone for 12, 13 and 17. So that means at the other end, though they were leaking runs, it was still under control. Still your power play finishes at 50.
Yes.
Okay. Had Bolt gone for 6 and over, what are you looking at? You're looking at a completely different score. You're looking at 18. You're looking at another 12 runs, 62, 63 for 1. The game changes. So what Bolt has done up front is absolutely unbelievable.
Avesh got those 3 wickets, but also the crucial wicket that Yuzi got, because getting Virat Kohli, you know what it does to the morale of RCB.
Yeah, and it was his first ball. Virat's been playing this lap slog. He's obviously got this kind of awareness of the ball's going to be around it. This is the shot I'm going to go to. And it just came off the toe end. You know, it's the bigger side of the ground as well. I like it, though. I like the way Virat's playing that shot. I think it's a shot that he has to keep playing. I would say that's probably, looking back, I think that's probably the first time he's got out to it in this year's IPL. So if you look at the data and the stats at the end of the tournament, I would say that one shot, the lap slog, he's probably brought him 40 or 50 runs. And if he's only been out once, I would say to Virat, carry on playing it. He plays it well. He just probably came off the pitch a bit slower than expected, and he probably chose the bigger side of the boundary. But he's been playing it well. He just didn't come off tonight.
But for RCB, the spinners, they're not the biggest names. We've seen Karan and Swapnil do well, but the one who stood up for them with the ball in the spin department has been Maxwell. So we know that he's not performed with the bat, but if Maxwell can pull off some miracle with the ball, that's what RCB...
He needs to. His batting average this year is 5.75 or 5.8. He's gone for 4 ducks. He needs to give them something. He needs to return a franchise that has had faith in him. Really, he's been really poor.
I think his time's come to an end in terms of getting the big bucks over here. You know, I think...
But I'll tell you, Maxi has the
auction
charm,
time, suddenly
luck
something
of the devil.
happens, doesn't it?
He, in 2013, went for $1.1 million to Mumbai, who won the championship that year, and didn't need to play him at all. They didn't play him at all.
It's been a while now. You know, you're looking at his record in the IPL, and I'm staggered of how poor it is. He's such a good player. We only just saw that in the World Cup. He's gone from the sublime in the World Cup to the ridiculous
I
in
think
this
the only
tournament.
place he probably do well is Chennai, because they're yellow colours. So, otherwise,
Good one, true.
we don't know where he's going
Maybe
to
Postman Pat will take him to the Sunrisers.
as they call it now, the DRD, the Dhoni Rehabilitation Department.
Yes.
You know? When players
After
go
a certain
nowhere
age
after a
group.
certain age
After a
group,
certain
okay,
Yeah,
our
but
party ride company.
Dhoni usually gets them for a nice cheap price.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's,
Ambati ride
will
over,
Maxi
but
want to
it-
go for a cheap price? I think that'll be the challenge.
Well, we'll see what happens in the big auction with Maxwell. But talking about today, will RCB be content with where they've reached, considering the amount of wickets they've lost? This could have, fallen at like 130, 135.
I know, but look, the truth is the pitch didn't have any devils in it. It's not as if the pitch was doing a lot. I mean, the bowlers were bowling. They bowled very well. They bowled to their lengths. They bowled to their strengths. But the pitch isn't doing anything. The dew is going to be on. So when the dew is on, you say that, I'd like to score about 20 runs more than the opposition would under the same circumstances, because, that's ball's going to skid on. So, yeah, I think they'd be disappointed. But look, 172...
It's pressure, isn't it? It's pressure. That's all. The only thing that the RCB side has got in their favour at this stage is pressure. The RR team have not been winning. They're on the back of not winning in 5 games. And if you can get a couple of early ones, flying one-handed catch, a run out, that P-word pressure can play all sorts of tricks on players.
And he's done it in the past. And see, the other thing is that somebody like a Yashasvi Jaiswal will play his game. And his game is a game it's a risky game. He plays the game that way. It's an aggressive game. He takes chances. He's going to give you chances up front. If by chance they get him early, I think, it's just, it is an eliminator. The E word is there,
But what a stage for, Tonkoli Cadmore, strolling out with
Yes.
Yashasvi. He's had 1 innings. He can strike a ball. He's used to playing back home, and some of the other leagues, this is a different level. 95,000 in the stadium.
Correct.
What a night to make a name for yourself.
Well, there is Tom Kohler, Cadmore out there, and there's Kohli giving that fiery speech to all the RCBians and the RCB team. We know what he can do in the field. The pressure you're talking about, when Virat goes there, the aggression, those quick wickets, 1-2 quick wickets, and we know what kind of energy he comes out in the field with, so you never know what can happen.
Yeah, and big day. 2 wickets down, somebody makes a stupid shot, somebody doesn't recover, suddenly the run rate goes to 10-11, somebody panics, anything can happen.
All right, so what are our scores then, if anything can happen?
No, you've got to start, because
the power play. No, I'm going to go simple 60.
Simple 60.
48.
Ooh,
I'll go in
Good
between.
game.
I was actually wanting to go 54, so I'll stick to that.
yeah, that's nice.
So we all have our space. But Yashasvi plays that aggressive brand of cricket and then you go with 48. You confuse us, Joy.
No. All I'm saying is that he's going to take chances.
Yes.
Let's see what happens. I'll be delighted if they finish it off, but let's see. I want to see
You want
Yashasvi for
Rajasthan
India's
to
sake.
enjoy, do you?
No, I'm Yashasvi.
All
Team
those
Yashasvi.
the RCB fans on social media, they'll be out to get you.
No, I just want Yashasvi in form for
Quite
the
an
World Cup.
aggressive bunch. There's a couple in the office here.
Yeah, I could be in trouble.
Well, all right. Let's see if RCB have pulled off a miracle to be here at the playoff. Let's see if they can pull off a miracle or the cool and composed Sanju Samson comes and wins it for his team. We'll wait and watch. We'll give you all the updates at the 10 over point. So join us at the Crickbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें